Welcome back to A&T Time. You are with Mike Master T and Animal Killer A.
Why am I the one that kills animals?
I feel like ever since the reindeer conversation, that is what I'm going to nickname you now.
No,
No?
no.
All right, well, you think
I'm a
about
soft, fuzzy person. We don't kill animals.
killer. So, speaking of killing, we are talking tonight about dinner. Dinner.
Everyone's favorite meal.
I like lunch, actually.
Most stressful meal.
Why is dinner stressful?
Because you have to plan a meal almost every freaking night. It's ridiculous.
Well, you have to have
And then
lunch
you
every
got, and
single
then
day,
you
too.
gotta, yeah, but lunch is different. You can do a sandwich and like chips or yogurt and stuff like that. Dinner, you gotta make like this full course meal, and then you gotta plan something that either like, let's be honest, most people don't like leftovers. So, especially if you have children never like leftovers. So then you have to plan something that's just enough not to be leftovers, or it's a leftover that you can stand eating by yourself for the next 3 days.
What can you eat that's a leftover from 3 days ago? Like I can eat. Well, chicken's kind of gross after that amount of time, but see, I don't like pasta reheated.
I love me. My lasagna on the second day is better than the first day, but by the third day, I about had enough. If you make a big enough dish, you got to find people to pawn it off onto.
Well, yeah, but how big are your lasagnas that you're making that you're handing them off? It's almost like you're making dinner for everyone else. I could
probably feed 20 people off of my lasagna.
20 people?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, how long would you go with eating McDonald's chicken nuggets? Because they don't ever decompose.
I don't ever reheat those.
You just eat them cold.
No, I don't. I eat them fresh, and they don't get eaten after that.
So I'm the only one that eats it.
Yes. In that scenario, yes.
Well, I'm willing to go 2 days out on them.
Okay.
So, all right. That's okay. So dinner ideas. That's actually the topic.
Tacos are a genius idea, though, because you could do tacos one night, taco salad another night.
Mm-hmm. And?
You can make a burrito the third night.
Right. You have all the options if you make up that taco meat. Sometimes I'll just make the taco meat just to have taco meat. I won't put any tortillas in it. I won't put it in a taco shell.
You're simple. I go all out. And walking tacos, whoever came up with that, it's amazing. You literally open a small bag of Doritos, you crunch them things up, you put a little lettuce, cheese, well, I like sour cream, and the taco meat, and you don't even have to do dishes.
The sour cream is it a necessity for you? Because sour cream is just nasty. It's like mayonnaise.
I like sour cream.
Ugh. I don't know how you can put it on anything.
I put it in my mashed potatoes.
Ooh, mashed potatoes. That's a good one. So, okay, dinner to you is lasagna. You said you're kind of sick of mashed potatoes, though. You had told me that
potatoes.
Just potatoes in general. That's why you don't like fries anymore. You don't go for mashed potatoes anymore.
No. The only thing I really like are the home fries that I make, and even then, I only want a little bit, and that's it. And I honestly prefer them if I make like a frittata or make like breakfast, then I like them with my breakfast.
So if someone made you dinner, what would be your favorite dinner?
For me personally?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably be some kind of seafood, like shrimp.
Okay.
Or crab legs. I haven't had crab legs in forever. And then a vegetable.
Crab legs, a vegetable, which would be what?
A leafy green vegetable, most likely.
Like green beans, or are you talking like
green beans, or broccoli, or asparagus?
Okay, so you wouldn't do pasta then as your
main dish?
Yeah.
No, I kind of got away from doing pasta. I grew up where pasta were a main dish. My mom had me cook at a young age, and we had so many people in the house that I made a lot of casseroles, which mostly have pasta in them, because that's spread.
Well, it's also cheaper to make.
That too.
Yeah.
Like we did tuna noodle casserole, we did baked ziti, which ironically I can't stand baked ziti, and I can't stand goulash. I think they're disgusting.
I don't like spinach. I can't get into spinach. I don't know why that reminded me of that, but I'm not a fan of zucchini or spinach.
I love zucchini. Well, you had the fried zucchini down in Myrtle Beach and you liked it.
Yeah, but it's fried. It's not just
Yeah.
It's not the base
But the thing
vegetable.
about zucchini, though, is if you cook it right, depending on how you cook it, zucchini is one of those vegetables will take the flavor on of whatever you're making it as.
Okay, so to stay on topic for dinner ideas, which is what we're attempting to try and do,
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking that your ideal dinner is some sort of seafood like crab legs
Mm-hmm.
and leafy greens.
Or coleslaw.
Okay, what is going on with you? It's so nasty. Okay,
Coleslaw is delicious.
coleslaw, greens or coleslaw. What else? Come on, you gotta have more than just two things. Well,
Well,
do you have
usually
wine with it? Do you
I
have wine?
can do, well, no, not really.
What do you want?
I mostly drink water.
So water would be your dream drink.
No,
for your
not
dinner.
my dream. Well, if we're going that way.
We're talking dinner ideas.
Yeah, I want a milkshake. Maybe
you want a milkshake with your seafood?
Yes. Maybe,
Oh, dairy. That sounds great.
Yes, maybe a tipsy milkshake. Those are
Okay,
the
so a
best.
spiked milkshake.
Spiked milk. Well, yeah, or a tipsy one.
A spiked milkshake with crab legs and leafy greens and coleslaw.
Yeah.
This is just rank. Okay. Wouldn't want to sleep
going-
next to you that night.
It's going
Not a
in my
chance.
belly. What? That's nothing that gives you gas.
I'm sure if you mix these concoctions together, it would make something toxic. I don't know what it would be.
not.
All right. So,
It's called healthy.
anyways, so if I were to do it, I would go either with a steak or pork dinner. I do like seafood, but not like that. I tend to like whitefish, but if I'm gonna have whitefish, I may as well have meat. You know, I don't care for raw. I don't care for. I mean, I do like medium steaks now.
Raw fish is disgusting.
Well, no, not raw fish. I wouldn't. No.
Sushi.
So yeah, I do not care for sushi, but you do, right?
I liked it with cooked shrimp and stuff in it.
But not raw, right? But
Not
not
raw.
straight up raw. No, okay.
I'm
so
not that brave.
I like steak.
Food poisoning.
I like potatoes. I do like corn. Like corn always goes good, but I think it's because of the way I was brought up.
But corn has no nutritional value and your body doesn't digest
The
it.
question here isn't about the nutritional value. It's about what we want to do for
So
dinner.
the true question is, do you want it on the cob or off the cob? Then?
Either or. I'm fine either way. I don't care.
Have you ever had it fried on the cob?
Yes.
It's delicious.
All of it's great. If it's corn, it's great. I love it. I don't care if it's out of a can. I don't care if it's on the cob. I don't care if it's fried.
So you get that you're the traditional
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
olden
But this
day
is...
country people
Don't judge my people.
dinner.
They're my people. Don't... That's not your... No, you stay away from my people. Okay, and I would do whiskey with it. With the steak. Okay? Now, date night, dinner, go. First thing, not on this list. What would you get?
Well, I was gonna say steak, but you just freaking took that.
You
away from
can't
me.
take steak. I
Salmon,
already
because
said
we do salmon on all of our
Hey,
dates.
whoa. Oh, you say that like it's a bad thing. All right.
No,
So
it's good salmon.
you didn't seem like you had a good salmon tone.
Oh, sorry, wrong. The salmon is good.
Do you think Alanis Morissette likes salmon?
She strikes me as a vegetarian
She would.
or
Sarah
or,
Silverman
no,
would be
vegan.
the same way.
Or vegan.
Interesting. So you like, you're thinking salmon, and what do? You do fried green beans with salmon.
Mm-hmm.
My brother-in-law is a hobby chef, but he's very good. And I'm trying to think of the things that he makes, because he'll do. I think he did like a turkey with pork in it or something once. Like he stuffs it. He does
meat inside of a meat, that's quite common.
No, but the way is something I had never seen before. And now I can't remember what it was. So I guess it's pointless to bring it up.
Was it chicken cordon bleu?
No, because it was a turkey. If I remember right, he did something with a turkey, but I wasn't like chicken cordon bleu. Yeah, I mean,
I used to make a ricotta stuffed chicken wrapped in bacon.
Well, anything with bacon is good. I mean, I'll have Cheerios with bacon around it.
It's really
it's
good.
fine. Yeah, it is good. I'm really struggling here because outside of a date night, you have kids. What are kids going to eat that isn't fast food?
Kids shouldn't be eating fast food like that.
Well, no, I'm just saying what other ideas. Fast food is an easy one to come up with ideas with because kids usually love all that crap.
You can make burgers at home and have them taste better than McDonald's or Burger King.
Right, but food other than that. What can you give kids that's different than that? That they actually might get into.
Well, my daughters personally love the walking tacos. They absolutely love those.
So I'm kind of thinking like my kids really seem to be getting into those pork sausages, which is different. And then I sometimes will put shredded cheese with it.
My daughters like pierogies and kibasi, but I hate kibasi.
Kibasi?
Kibasi.
Kibasi on the barbie.
Isn't that how you say it? The Polish sausage.
Kielbasa.
Is it kielbasa?
I've always called it kielbasa. I'm sure someone's going to tell me.
I'm sure my mom calls it kibasi, and that's where I got it from. Anyways, I can't do it. It's greasy and disgusting, but the girls absolutely love it.
Yeah, so my kids will like the kibasi, whatever we're calling it. They like almost any types of sausage, whether it's breakfast sausage or smoked sausage.
See, my girls will only eat the small sausage links, the breakfast ones. Breakfast for dinner is a big hit in my house. We do waffles.
Maple syrup and...
Yeah, well, or we do, so a thing that I do with my kids is we get to pick and create pancakes. So, like, we did cherry and dark chocolate pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
We've done blueberry and dark chocolate pancakes. Yeah, they like chocolate in their pancakes a lot. But if they come up with something, we've had strawberry and banana pancakes before. Like, that was one thing they used to like to do a lot when they were little. Because when I worked nights, I never got breakfast food. So sometimes we did breakfast for dinner. And they would get really excited about it. Because they'd be like, well, what pancake are we going to make tonight?
I have heard of that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a popular hit with the kids. You can do bacon, eggs.
Okay, so I'm going to try something different, right? Let's try naming your top 3 foods that come to your mind in 5 seconds. 5, 4. Tell me 3 things. 3,
pulled pork,
2,
macaroni and cheese,
1.
Okay.
See, what is it? Pulled pork and mac and cheese, she says.
Yeah.
Pulled.
And tacos.
Okay, yes, I'll give you that one. Pulled pork, mac and cheese, and tacos. Okay.
Well,
beef or chicken tacos?
Beef.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say chicken tacos aren't even real tacos. What about fish tacos? We seem to be on a taco theme.
No, but shrimp tacos is where it's at.
Okay, so shrimp tacos. So you like shrimp tacos the best. You like that more than beef taco.
Yeah.
And you like soft shells, though, not hard shells. I don't see any people except myself that'll have hard shell tacos anymore.
My one daughter likes hard shell.
Okay, well, she's all right.
Hit or miss.
She's all right. We'll keep her around, I guess. Okay, pulled pork. What about pulled chicken?
It's okay, but I prefer pulled pork.
Pulled pork is really good. Do you just dump it into the crock pot? Do you marinate it? What do you wind up doing?
So I put it in the crock pot and I put a dry rub that I got from, it's a Longhorn Steakhouse pork rub, and I put that on it. And then after it's cooked for a few hours, I start adding the barbecue sauce. But I use the Memphis barbecue sauce from Wegmans. It's really good barbecue sauce.
Do you ever...
Or Kansas City. Either or I switch between.
What was that last thing?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
They have they have beans that are flavored like that too. They have better baked beans than Bush's baked beans. I said what I said.
Okay. All right. And because it's in the holiday time, what's your normal family dinner for Christmas?
Waffles.
You do waffles for like a Christmas Eve dinner?
Yeah. It used to be, my dad used to make lasagna for us because that was my favorite, but the girls don't like it. So we switched it to waffles.
Okay. We used to do ham and mashed potatoes. Then it changed, and I think we went turkey. It moves around. We don't ever stay.
Turkey only needs to be on Thanksgiving.
Right, but even then we didn't do it then. We did ham. We did ham on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
we didn't even do turkey.
I'm not a fan. Everybody's all about the big freaking turkey, and I'm like, dude, unless it's on a sandwich or something, I don't really want it.
Well, I like turkey sliced, really thin. You know, I don't like thick because the problem is too, it dries out.
Are you dark meat or light meat?
Light meat. Whoops, drop my
Me
pen.
too. I find that a lot of people can't cook a good turkey. That's why I don't like it, because I barely know anybody. My grandparents were the only ones that made a good turkey on Thanksgiving.
Well, the problem is it dries. Once you dry, the whole turkey's bust to me. So, I mean, I love it.
You can't go wrong with ham. Ham is delicious.
No, but if I could have the perfect turkey or the perfect ham, I don't know, though, because buttered ham is amazing.
Mm-hmm. And put ham on top of pulled pork with bacon. It's called the Three Little Piggies.
You just it's called a heart attack. All those pigs.
It's a sandwich at a place around here called the Three Little Piggies, and it's delicious.
Really, that's a real thing around here.
Yes, it's the best damn sandwich. Yeah, one of the places on the water. It's like a little dive bar, and oh my god, it's called the Three Little Piggies.
What the hell are we doing here? We should be down there getting some of that. That sounds delicious.
Well, I mean, if you ever really want to.
Go have a stomach ache. There we go.
No, not even have a stomach ache. If you're really just trying to butter me up.
Oh God,
we're
talking about dinner. So the three. That's actually really a cool name for it too. The Three Little Pigs.
I thought that was so creative because it's three types of pig.
So I'm trying to remember the things that we used to have. I know that my grandmother, she's 98 years old now. She, when I was little and my grandfather was still around, she knew that I liked to have hamburger helper, which is the most basic, junk, terrible stuff you can eat. And I love it. And I remember I had a box up there that apparently my mom dropped off for my grandmother to make. And she decided that the on-the-box instructions were not good enough. So she said that she could improve the design, which is probably true to a point. I mean, it is hamburger helper, but how do you improve something that's designed exactly the way it's labeled on the box? And come to find out, you can make a Frankenstein dinner. And you can make it worse, which I didn't know was honestly possible. And what she ended up doing was she took all the instructions and got it all together. But what she did was, instead of putting it in the pot or the pan, to let it simmer, she put it in the oven and baked it in a 13x9
Why
pan.
would she do that?
Because she thought that the pan was going to come out too soft, which is the point of doing it and simmering it. So when she pulled it out, it tasted rank, okay? And then I couldn't eat it. And then she was trying to tell me that it was exactly how it was done, except for one major step. So what I tried to explain to her was that it would be like taking your cake, instead of putting it in the oven, you're cooking it in the frying pan. It doesn't make sense. You shouldn't do it. It's terrible, and it still marks me to this day.
Oh God,
that was a pretty bad one. But she was a very good baker. Very, very good baker. She could do cakes and pies, no problem. But man, when you ask her to do hamburger helper, boy, that really puts you out.
Reminds me of Keith and the dish sponge.
You what?
My stepfather. He made a pot roast and he put the dish sponge in the pot roast. And then tried to serve it to us. I was like, what? He was looking all over the place for the dish sponge to do the dishes, and he couldn't find it. So he pulls the pot roast out. He goes, puts it on the table. And then he goes, oh, that's where the sponge went. Pulled it out
of the finished meal.
Yes, and all you could smell, it smelled like, you know what a dirty dish sponge
Yeah,
was.
It smelled like
That's what it
that whole
like.
Thing's shot.
I know. No, he wanted us to eat it.
No, not a chance.
He was like, no. He was like, and he's digging in it. He's like, tastes just fine to me. And I'm like, I am not eating that. That doesn't even smell good. So we ended up getting McDonald's, but he got really mad that none of us would eat the pot roast.
Well, there's a sponge
after
in
he
it.
cooked the dish sponge in the pot roast. It stunk so bad.
It's freaking gross. I don't see. That's what I don't understand about people. Like, I get it if you're broke and you're starving, you can do it. But there's a sponge in the meat.
He really worked hard on this pot roast, but still a point.
He couldn't have worked that hard if he had.
And that's one thing I don't eat anymore is pot roast.
Well, I don't eat sponges anymore.
I don't like potatoes. So what do you put in a pot roast if you don't eat potatoes? Because that's a big part. Like, you can only eat so many carrots.
Bacon.
Cabbage.
Bacon. Put all of it.
Cabbage.
See, I don't care for cabbage. That would not be a good part of my dinner.
I love cabbage.
No.
I actually love the way that the cabbage tastes when you put it in with the corned beef for St. Patty's Day, but I would really love to learn how to make fried cabbage because I've had a few girls bring in fried cabbage to work and it smells so good. Jamaican food's where it's at.
I did, when I went on a cruise years and years ago, I did have some of the best food down there because it wasn't all U.S.
Processed.
food. It wasn't all processed. And, when you pay enough, they'll give you whatever you want. But a sponge? So gross.
It was a dish sponge.
I wouldn't.
Like the sponge you used to have. It was just
like a green and yellow.
Yes.
Yeah,
and the whole entire meal smelled like a dirty dish sponge. I was like, I'm not eating that. He ate it too. I'm sure he got sick later that night.
Oh,
I don't see how he didn't. Like, no. And then he was so mad at us for not eating it. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not eating that.
Is it really a waste of food, though, when you contaminate it? That's what I want to know.
No,
if you're deliberately contaminating it.
No.
I don't know. Now, do you prefer... what am I trying to say here? Do you prefer having things in the oven, cooktop, or a grill? I know it's a big question.
If I could have a grill all year long,
a grill,
that's how I'd want to do it. Even when you make your vegetables, I used to have a special tray when I had my grill to cook your vegetables on the grill so they wouldn't fall through. And oh my God, they just taste so much better.
I always thought it was better on the grill. I honestly didn't like doing anything in the oven. I really don't.
Oven is good for like casseroles and stuff like that, and baking. It is not good for cooking meat.
But I like to put pizzas right on the grill. I'll put a pizza. Yeah, I'll put the pizza on a grill more than I'll put it in the oven. If I have the option for it, that's what I'll do.
What kind of grill though?
Any gas grill, charcoal grill, doesn't matter. I mean, heck, outside of a George Foreman, that's not even a real grill. Anything like that, I'll do it too. Yeah, something that gives it a good. If I can get it to have a smoky flavor, it tastes really good.
So you need a smoker.
Well, if I have the time for a smoker, sure. But not everybody has time for that. No, so a regular grill. A regular grill is kind of the way to go for something like that.
I set a whole chicken on fire on the grill before.
Have you ever had a turkey, get lit up from doing the frying outdoors? That's a big thing.
No, actually, that's been successful every time I've ever known people to do it. Actually, that's the only way I like my turkey because it really comes out really nice that way.
I could really go for some of this food right now, actually. Okay, so your favorite dinner, fish, greens, and coleslaw? It seems so weird.
Coleslaw is delicious. It's another vegetable.
I know, it's like mayonnaise. I can't do it. If you can eat
2 vegetables at a meal that tastes good, why not?
Okay, what about a sandwich? I realize that's more of a lunch food, but people eat,
No, I've done sandwiches for dinner before. Yeah. I've made blonde Reubens before for dinner.
Do you like brisket?
What's brisket?
Brisket, I don't know how to explain brisket.
Obviously, I don't know because I've never had it.
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, I guess it depends on where you have it. Some places call brisket, it's like cut up, unique meat, and it's marinated in a very thick marinade, and you put it on. It's not like a sloppy Joe because it's contained, but it's very juicy. It's smoked for a very, very long time.
I like sloppy joes.
Yeah, well, this is definitely not a sloppy Joe. It's just meat that's been very well marinated. It's very, very wet meat with that has been smoked. And other places, it's almost like they do it in a fillet, like it's one piece, but it's mixed. I can't seem to get an accurate. You go to one place and it's one way. You go to another place and it's the other way, but they still call it brisket. It's good, but I have gotten sick on it once before, and now I'm all weird about brisket.
I'm all weird about roast beef because of Arby's.
Yeah.
Got sick off of that one too many times.
Yeah, I don't know. Their curly fries are so good.
They don't know how to cook their roast beef because I get sick off of it every time I have it.
Well, I don't know if that's the case if you're getting sick every time.
every time.
Right,
I
maybe
don't get
it's
sick off
you.
of any of their other food. It's just the roast beef sandwiches.
Then you obviously have
Even the
something with it.
smell of it makes me nauseous.
Well,
Do you remember when you were eating it in the car? I was like, oh my God, I'm going to puke.
Oh, it's so good, though. I know you can't have it, but my God, I can put like 10 of those
window
away.
down. I had to like put my head out the window like a dog. Wiping at the air.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, this is a slower, this is one of our slower podcasts. It's more of a, I like to think of it as an infomercial of sorts.
Advertising for Wegmans.
Advertising for Wegmans and
Dropped
Arby's.
Wegmans a few times.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other foods
Not
that I
Taco
really
Bell.
like
We
for
talked
dinner.
about tacos, but we didn't say Taco Bell.
Gross. I can't do Taco Bell anymore. I really couldn't even do it before, but now especially. What garlic cheesy bread for dinner?
Yes, as a side for one of your pasta dishes.
I just eat it straight.
Oh.
I don't even need
pasta. I did see one thing where somebody was taking that Texas cheesy toast or whatever, and they were making sandwiches, grilled sandwiches out of it for dinner, and it looked wicked good.
But it's cheesy toast?
Yeah, the 5 cheese or whatever, and then I think they made like a meatball thing out of it.
It sounds good.
And then I made one time, I took biscuits. They said to take biscuits and take a muffin pan and like, push them in so they make like a cup shape.
Right.
And then put sloppy Joe meat on top of it and cheese and cook it in the oven. And they were actually really good. Like even my girls who stopped liking sloppy joes liked sloppy joes. Facebook gives you a lot of good recipes.
Facebook is a dangerous place though, because man, they give you ideas that are required. You're supposed to have better skills than you do. Like for me.
Sometimes.
Right? Some of it looks really good, and then I read what's involved, and they're like, oh, it's so easy. It can be done in 3 steps. No, it's not. Step 1 is like 6 steps all in one. No, absolutely not.
For you, it's challenging, not for other people.
Wow. Way to cut. Way to cut to my heart.
I'm just saying, well, you're not a cook.
No, I'm not.
You're not really a cook.
So Facebook lies to me about my abilities.
Your talents are in a wide range of areas, so why does it need to be in cooking?
Not cooking.
You're okay. You're just never going to make like a 5-star meal.
Don't like that attitude.
I'm not
you're cook shaming me. All right, now.
I'm not cook shaming you.
Dessert.
Oh, so many.
Mm-hmm.
We could do peanut butter stuffed brownies, which I'm going to make one of these days, so you can try it.
Peanut butter stuffed brownie, that does sound good.
I found a recipe, and they're actually really good for cherry bars, and they're really good. It's not like a cake, but it's not yet like it's kind of like a Danish,
mm-hmm.
but not as traditional as a Danish. But they're really good. We could go endless. You could do cheesecake. You could do ice cream.
So it's harder for us to come up with dinner ideas than dessert ideas.
Well, I like to bake, so.
But I mean, you can do chocolate. You can do ice cream of every flavor.
You can do an apple. We can get healthy with it.
You can do
fruit, strawberries, and dip them in little whipped cream. You're like, I'm for the strawberries, not the whipped cream. Yeah,
I've never cared for whipped cream. Anything of that sort, I'm really not into. But I like fruit. I like small amounts. The problem with me is that I just can't do much sugar. So anything I have is usually like a salty, type of food. It's not the sweet and sour. Mm-hmm. So that makes dessert, quote unquote, a little bit difficult. Because desserts are usually sweet. They're not. Mm-hmm. They don't come out with a family-sized bag of chips like I really want. Mm. So, what are you going to do then?
Well, you can go with stuff that's less sweet. Because, like, dark chocolate, it's a lot less sweeter than milk chocolate.
Right. Which has been better.
Certain types of ice cream are not as sweet as other ice creams. Like, if you get an ice cream that is, like, a low-carb, low-sugar, it's not going to be sweet. Sometimes can still taste just as good. They tend to be more expensive, though, but...
Everything's more expensive, though. Especially something like that.
Mm-hmm. And there are ways to do your desserts so that you're making them with more all-natural ingredients, like honey and stuff like that, so the sugar, your glycemic index isn't as high.
That's your medical knowledge of the night. Spread the word.
Yeah. No, there's ways. I was looking into it because I, at one point, wanted to open my own bakery shop and have healthier
And that's
dessert
great.
alternatives.
Gluten-free desserts. That's a nightmare.
I didn't want gluten free though.
Well,
I
there's a
just want
gluten. No, I
healthier.
mean there's a gluten-free shop that I'm aware of in a close by town, and
Oh yeah,
that
they probably get mad dough for their stuff. Do you know how expensive it is to make gluten free
I've been
desserts?
there. I've been there and I've checked it out.
I've made them.
And yeah, it is unbelievably expensive. But the thing about those desserts, when you're taking out certain ingredients, you can only cover it up to a point.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot
I made
totally
gluten
mask it.
free brownies one time out of almond flour. They were not that good.
No, I couldn't imagine they are.
The consistency was weird.
Well, you're taking out all the normal ingredients for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you.
But bananas. Chop up your bananas into tiny little pieces and you can put them in a food processor and you can make a healthier version of ice cream out of bananas that is healthier for you. You can do like chocolate in it. That's what we used to do for a while there when we were on the paleo diet because we couldn't have anything that had dairy in it because it didn't come from man and it didn't grow from the earth because it came out of a cow. We couldn't have it. So we did bananas for ice cream.
I think you should just make smoothies like you did before and just have that as a dessert because those are amazing.
I know. I'm gonna make you some on Friday.
Right, but you can. But we're still trying to figure out like these ideas. And the thing is like you think you have. Like I had this assumption that I was like, oh, I'm going to whip out all these dinner ideas. But generally, people go with the same thing. They go, okay, well, if it's a better dinner, you're going to have a primary meat, steak.
Well, and it's complicated because
lasagna.
once you have kids, you have to think of the likes and dislikes of everybody in the household.
Right. So you're like, oh, we're going to have fish sticks. Oh, yeah, that's real lovable. You know, it's okay, so I can get by a night with fish sticks. Or you have a pizza night. But I mean, it's the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Adulting.
Oh, adulting is terrible. But you know, you want to. Let's say you wanted to surprise someone with a good dinner. You know, do you take them for chicken? Do you take them for um, pasta? I mean, I know everybody's tastes are different, but
You go by what your person prefers.
right. I just feel like you should have a surprise meal that no one really has and no one thinks about. And I think that's what I'm like looking for. What is
food?
Thai food? Now that's
Thai food.
Thai food.
Thai food is always amazing and it's always such a pleasant surprise. I've only had Thai food 3 times in my life, and it's been the best damn food I've ever had each time.
See, like so now that you're saying Thai food, like I've gone to Hibachi Grill, and I actually really like the food out of a Hibachi Grill, which is surprising because I usually don't get into anything. You've never done a Hibachi Grill, something like that?
No, like where they do the where they cook in front of you and all that.
Right.
I did,
and they do it their way, and usually each one is its own. They do their own little.
It's
flair
pretty cool
to it.
too to watch the show.
It is. So something like that is fun, and I loved it. I really did. I like the food, so that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do much. You can't really do much outside of the lasagna. Is almost like you make something and it's for 2 families. You know, you can't have you can't have a small lasagna.
You can freeze it for later, but whoever does that,
who
has the room? You have to have like a deep freezer to do that.
I don't know. I don't really have much on this. The pulled pork sounds good. You know, glazed ham. I don't get into glazing on ham. It's just kind of meh.
I like it, but you don't, so
no.
We won't be.
But that's why dinners. I feel like when you're doing dinner with a family or just 2 people. I mean, what do you? It's like.
But I find so if you're doing dinner and you have a bunch of picky people in the house, go with the most simplified way to make that meal, and then add all the extras you want afterwards. Like I in the past had to make certain meals where like I didn't like French fries, but everybody else did. So I would make everyone else the French fries, make the burger, simplify everybody else's, and then make on the side all the extras that I wanted because I like a wider variety of food.
All I really want to do is add onion powder, garlic powder, and sea salt to everything I do.
Yeah.
And it always tastes the same, no matter what it is, because I keep doing the same thing over and over.
I'm going to make you spicy beef and shrimp bok choy one of these days, and it's going to blow your mind. You might not like the bok choy, which you don't have to eat that, but I will give you the beef and the shrimp.
It does sound pretty good.
And I think you'll like it.
I'll have to try it out.
And it's not too spicy.
Okay.
I'll eat all the bok choy, though. You don't have to eat that. It's like baby lettuce, but you have to cook it.
You ever had moose?
No.
Moose and bear are actually pretty good. The bear is pretty gamey. I've also had porcupine, which was awful.
Yeah, you said that.
I had porcupine, which was awful. I've had squirrel, which wasn't very good. Chipmunk was awful.
What was the one that you were talking about? You almost got sick trying to skin it.
That was the porcupine, I think, because it was very, very fat. Yeah, and it took forever, and what little bit of meat you did get was awful. And we grilled all that. We grilled that out. That was years and years ago. We tried that. But, there's... now, see, I love partridge. That's a meal that, I don't get very often, that I almost could eat all the time, is partridge.
You gotta kill the chicken first.
But you gotta get... Well, you have to find a partridge. You're not getting partridge from chicken. You have to get partridge from a partridge. But, chicken won't give me bologna.
It's because you call it the Tug Hill
It's the Tug Hill chicken! Yeah, I know.
I get so excited about it.
I do. Well, I'm always hoping that I'll get one because I love it so much. All right. Well, it's been kind of a more of an informational podcast today, but I think we're gonna leave it here. If you have any different dinner ideas, because I'm kind of scratching my head about this. The few notes that I made are limited, and it always comes back to the same 5 or 10 foods. But yeah, if there's anything you can think of that's really good, I mean, people that are not into animals, they don't know necessarily the differences in cut steaks or anything back straps or filet mignon or anything specific, flat irons, that kind of stuff. If they don't have this, there's tons of ways you can have steaks. There's tons of ways you can do pork. But we're always looking for ideas. So we will catch you the next time on A&T Time. Peace.